Hi, this is Bob Miglani, bestselling author of Embrace the Chaos. How do we sell in chaos? How do we sell in disruption, this uncertainty, in this environment where we're all at home? Well, I've got a great guest today, Phil. Phil, how are you? Phil is in Sydney, Australia. Phil, tell us about who you are, what you do, and let's get started.
Okay, well, thanks, Bob. Phil Lee. I'm in Sydney, Australia. It's a beautiful day, beautiful morning, 8 a.m. where I am, and thankfully it's a beautiful day. So I am a B2B sales growth expert. So my expertise, been doing it for a long time, is working with organizations, generally in the small to medium-sized space, who want to do bigger deals more often. So generally in very competitive environments, the sales strategies that they're using aren't really effective anymore. And they have a desire to get out there, grow revenues and grow margins. And I help them do that, the ones that are ready for it.
So Phil Lee, you're the sales guru. You get people to boost their sales. What about this environment that we live in? How can we boost our sales when we're remotely hunkered down, working from home? I mean, is it just about Zoom calls, or what is it? How should salespeople be thinking today? And what should they be doing today?
I'm a big believer in going back to basics. So here's the thing. Most people in business, in sales, I specialize in business to business sales, high ticket, competitive environments, high margin. Look, if you were being really honest and you said on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of effectiveness, like between 1 being, you're absolutely hopeless and you wouldn't have your job, so you're probably not a 1. 10, you're like Tiger Woods, for instance. Like, where would you be? Of course, where are most people going to be?
Yeah,
well,
in the middle. Yeah, in the middle. Yeah,
it's not a trick question. Yeah. They're going to be, they'll try and fudge it a bit, but most people are going to be around about 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe, right? Yeah. Maybe some, the really top ones, will be 8, 9, maybe some touching 9.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If you're a 5, well, you can now start working to be a 6 or a 7. So, so typically what are the things? So when you were a 5, you were, not doing a hell of a lot of prospecting. You weren't reaching out to many people, or you were reaching out to people you felt comfortable with. Or you were a professional visitor, that is going and seeing people that kept on buying stuff from you and they liked you. And so now, but now it's changed. So now to go from a 5, say, to a 7, now you've got to start doing some things that you weren't comfortable doing before. Mm-hmm. And so some of those things, well, one of those things is being more active. And all this stuff is in your control. So coronavirus, not in your control. What you can do to improve your chance of either doing some business now, but certainly doing more business as time progresses and things start to change, that's all in your control. So you can do stuff like what we're doing now to get some exposure. Maybe people, can see you and say, I like you, I'd like to talk to Bob or Phil. You can be more active on LinkedIn. I believe, I'm not a LinkedIn expert, although I do a fair bit on LinkedIn. I believe only 1% of people on LinkedIn, that the many hundreds of millions of business people, only 1% are actively engaged.
Wow.
Right? That means 99% are not. Okay. Now, LinkedIn's a great place to maybe grow your network, make some connections. So that's
active. I love the, I think it's very important. So let me just summarize what I heard. It was fantastic, which is, look, focus on what you control, number 1. Yep. Number 2 is get more active. And number 3 is get out of your comfort zone. So this is not the time to stay in your comfort zone and to hope this thing will go away. It will go away at some point. I mean, who knows when, but it will go away, as you said. So the question is, what can you start doing now to do what is hard and difficult and uncomfortable so that you can begin to grow, and then you get to a place when we do eventually come out of this, come out of our holes, come out of that hole, whether it's your home or whatever, and to see sunlight again. So when you're in a good place.
Love it. Now's the time to go and watch Rocky 1.
Yes.
Right? Down and out, down and out.
Absolutely.
Right? Down and out.
Yeah.
And, gets motivated And now's the time to watch Rocky 1 and, you know, start getting out, pounding the pavement.
Yes. Yes.
You know, getting into a meatworks factory and start pounding the sides of beef.
Right.
And
you think we got spoiled over the years, Phil? You think
absolutely. We have been living in the most fortunate economic times in history.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And we've all become spoiled. You know, like emperors didn't live like 100 years ago, didn't live like the average person in the United States.
You and I live now, right?
We live better than kings and emperors lived 100 years ago. Now, we're not happy, but that's another podcast.
That's true. That's true.
But so here's the thing. Yes, we've been spoiled. You know, we've had low unemployment, we've had low interest rates. You know, every time, you know, housing prices increasing, assets increasing, plenty of technology creating plenty of opportunities. And even if you're not fortunate enough to have a business or a home or whatever, you know, I don't know if that's so much about your country, but in our country, a government that, you know, will look after you reasonably well. Yeah. So, and plenty of charitable organizations that will do the same.
Yes.
So, yes, as I say, we've been living in the most fortunate times, the last 20 odd years. It's been fantastic, aside from a few blips,
yes,
glitches, and this is another glitch.
Yes. Yeah. It's a big glitch. No doubt about it. Like you said, it's a big challenge. The world has changed. The pandemic will change the world, has been changing the world. And I think, to your point, I mean, going back to the fundamental thing of, you know, how do salespeople think about this is you've got to change your mindset. You've got to get uncomfortable, get active, what I heard, and start getting engaged. And LinkedIn is a great platform. There's so many others. What else do you think that salespeople should be doing? What's the one tip if you think you want to leave us?
The one tip's get out of, the one tip's all roll into one is get active.
Active, yeah.
Do more stuff.
Yeah.
Be more proactive. You're right. And, you know, and really get out of your comfort zone. And you know what? If you need help, and most of us do, get a coach.
Yes.
Right? Seriously, you know, my weight goes up and down, has all my life. You know, when I get serious, I get a coach. Yeah. I'm in a band. I have a singing coach. You know, I have a coach, someone who helps keep me accountable because, you know, I'm a bit sort of, I get easily distracted like everybody else.
Right.
But the one thing is like, okay, like seriously, it's Rocky 1.
Yeah.
Firstly, get in touch with your why.
Yeah.
Like why are you doing what you're doing? Yes. Okay. So there's coronavirus, pandemic, call it whatever you like. Yeah. It is, yes, and particularly in the United States. So I shouldn't downplay it because in Australia, for whatever reasons, we've kept it pretty. So far, it's you know, we've had a lot of social isolation, disruption to business, but thankfully, not too many people have died. Yeah. Okay, so it's a bit different in the United States, I know, particularly in certain regions. So but get in touch with your why. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first thing because that drives everything. Why are you doing what you're doing? Where do you want to be in 12 months? Okay. So let's take a little further view rather than say, where do you want to be in 3 months? Well, okay. Where do you want to be in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years? Why? What's driving you? Get juiced up. That's necessary because you're not going to do anything unless that happens. Now, if you can get in touch with your why, and if you can't, get some help from somebody who can, or go and do something else, right? Or just be happy doing not a lot. Yeah. That's cool too.
Great.
But if you can get in touch with your why, get motivated, then, you know, basically look at what are the activities that I can do that I'm not doing? Can I do more of them consistently? Yeah. Can I do them better? In which case, do I need some help? You know, can I get some help? And you know, I've noticed over the last month or so, there's some really top expert people that are saying, call me, I'll have a chat with you for free.
It's great.
It's, you know, like, so on the other side of the coin, there's so many resources available, and I'm happy to chat with people if they're serious, have a chat, try and help them. I'm sure you probably are too. Yeah, so, you know, like so there's so many resources out there which is the other side of the coin. So let's look at what is available. Let's look at what we can do rather than staying in bed, which is easy to do. I've done it several times in my life, pulled the sheets over my head and hoped that the sun, wouldn't come up the next day.
Right. Yeah, absolutely right, Phil. This is absolutely wonderful. I hear you. I'm with you. Rocky 1 again, get back up.
Balboa.
Yes, Balboa, get up and fight. And that's very, very important. Get active. That's the big message I heard today. Get active, get uncomfortable, get some help if you need it. There's a lot of resources available. Phil Lee, sales guru, sales expert, coach. Phil, where can they reach you? Where can people reach you?
Thank you. Well, this is my book, Game Changer. So people can reach me. Probably best would be my email address, which is info, I-N-F-O, at phillee, PHILLEE.com.au, because I'm in Australia, but I can do them anywhere. Info at phillee.com.au, or check me out on LinkedIn, Phil Lee, and connect. Happy to have a chat with anyone who might need some help. Get back to basics, start doing stuff. The sun will come up. This thing will go away. Let's get going.
Let's get going. I love it. Get active. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Phil, very much. Phil Lee, ladies and gentlemen, sales guru. This is Bob Miglani with love and respect for all that you do. Have a great day, Phil. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.